Hi guys, how are you? Here we are from group 3. We want to tell you about our discussion and our topic is the use of graphs and tables in reading skills. For the first, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Nisya Sinta Septiana Tarikan and my friends Angelita Simanjuntak, Christina Sianturni, M. Hiksan Setiawan, Raudatul Nahda Nasution, Rizky Panggabean. For the first slide, we will be reading by M. Iksan Setiawan.
Definition of tables and graphs. Tables present fact or feature displayed in columns and rows. Information in the title and headings labels tells what the columns and row represent. The form is in the form of column and rows. Usual fact or information are just names and numbers arranged in column and row order. Tables are visual aids that serve to explain a fact or information in a concise, clear, and more interesting manner than the words information presentation. Using tables is easier to read and summarize. Meanwhile, a graph is a painting with a picture or line to determine the ups and downs of a situation. Graphs are visual media that are often used to clarify a reading. Graphs make it possible to convey complex information more easily. This media can provide a clear, easy, attractive, and effective description of information. Generally, graphs are used to compare the amount of data in education. In addition, it is also used to solve equations in the development of the number. For example, over a period of 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, or more.
Table structure is a data storage area. Table graph is not by definition the table system. Graph fields are also known as column or attributes. After the structure is formatted, the data in each field can be input. The complete unit of a row field is called a coret of line. A graph data structure consists of an infinite and possible mutable set of vertices. Vertices also called nodes or points, together with a set of underroad pairs of these vertices for an undirected graph or a set of other pairs for a directed graph. These pairs are also known as chains, also called links or lines, and for a directed graph are also known as arrows. The vertices may be a part of the graph structure or may be external entities represented by integer and list or reference.
Now, about types of graphics and tables. The first is types of graphics. 1. Bar graphs, or also known as histograms, are used to emphasize differences in the level of values and several aspects. This type of graph is simply stark, is very easy to understand, and only depicts the data in the form of bars. 2. Line graphs are generally often used to describe a development or change over time. The x-axis shows the observed times, while the y-axis shows the value of the observed data for a certain time. The collection of time and the observation form points in the x-y plane. Then the column of each of two adjacent points is connected by a straight line so that a line diagram or line graph will be obtained. 3. Circular graph, which is the presentation of statistical data using a circular image or picture of the ups and downs of the data in the form of cycle to describe the percentage of the total value or the overall value. The second is types of table. 1. One-way table. One-way table is a type of table that provides a description of only one characteristic. What is meant by characteristics are various things such as frequency, amount, content, size, and other things which are usually stated in numbers. This type of table is simplest and easiest type of table to create. 2. Two-way tables. Two-way table is a type of table that presents the relationship between two characteristics. Examples include tables containing data on the number of population by sex and age, religion and place of birth, or the number of students by sex and class, and many more. 3. Three-way tables. As the name implies, a three-way table is type of table that presents the relationship between the characteristics at once, such as table containing population data by district, gender, and age, or student data based on gender, religion, and major.
Table and graph function. Table functions, first, provide a lot of information in a concise manner. The second, make it easier for readers to understand the reading. The third, expand a fact. The fourth, expand information. And the last, presenting data in a concise, clear, and more interesting way than just words. Graph functions, first, describe quantitative data with care. And the second, explain the development comparison of an object or event that is related to each other briefly and clearly. Graphs are arranged based on mathematical principles using comparative data. Reading tables and graphics. While reading, we often come across tables and graphics. Broadly, reading tables and graphics are directed at finding information quickly, asking questions about the contents of tables and graphics, and turning tables and graphics into description. The important thing in reading a table or graphic is to understand the meaning of being afraid by a table column graph. The information contained in a table or graphic can help us find the main ideas and important details we are reading. Such information is in the form of clearly demonstrated facts. A good table and graph reader is not only able to read the text, but must also be good at absorbing the information contained in the table or diagram, presenting data in a concise, clear, and more interesting way than just words. Steps to read tables and graphs. First, read the title. Reading the title is an important activity to understand the content of the message. Soak up the contents of the readings of tables and graphs you encounter because they provide a solid summary of the information to be conveyed. The second, read the information above, below, or on the side. This information is the key to explanation of the data presented. The information, for example, is in the form of a sequence of years, percentage, or figures. The third, ask questions about the purpose of the tables and graphs. It's easy, all you have to do is change the title to a question. For example, where, how much progress has it been, and so on. And the fourth, read tables and graphs keeping in mind your goals. What information you learn.
Example of graphs. First, bar graph. The graph above, it is explained about the census population of Java Island in 2000 and 2010. The largest population in 2010 was Jawa Barat with a population of 40 million people. And then, the highest after Jawa Barat was Jawa Timur province with a population of 30 million people, followed by the third, Jawa Tengah
Jakarta with a population of 5 million people. Furthermore, in 2002, the highest population, namely 35 million people, was in Jawa Barat. The second highest was Jawa Timur with a population 32 million people. And the third was Jawa Tengah with a population of 30 million people. And then Banten with a population of 10 million people. The lowest is DKI Jakarta with a population of 5 million people. Second, circular graph. From the example of circle graphic, we can take information about the percentage of student grades. A score of 100 can be 5 people with a percentage of 12.5%. A value of 80 to 99 can be set to 15 people with a percentage of 37.5%. A value of 65 to 79 is to 12 people with a percentage 30%. And a value of less than 65 as 8 people with a percentage 20%.
Example of table. One-way table. In the table above, it is explained about the number of sales of electronical goods types at Alpha Stores in 2002. The largest number of electronic goods sales were compared with 500 units. Then the second highest were dispensers with 253 units. After dispensing, the order of most things is washing machines with 230 units, then television with 185 units, and the lowest number of runs is refrigerator with 175 units. The total number of electronic goods sold at Alpha Stores in 2002 was 1,344 units. And then example, two-way table. The table shows low-level coffee sales increasing in all 5 countries, albeit widely varying degrees. Into place sales increased by the same small amount, 1,8 to 2 million euros in Denmark, and 0,8 to 1 million in Sweden. The increasement was slightly larger in Belgium, from 1 to 1,7 million euros. Meanwhile, in Switzerland, sales double from 3 to 6 million euros. Finally, in the UK, there was an enormous increase from 1,5 to 20 million euros. And
That's all about our presentation. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.